Looking back, I think the strange part is how normal that Easter dinner felt right before everything broke. Not warm, not happy, just familiar in the way old tensions become furniture. My family had assigned roles years earlier without ever discussing them openly. My father controlled the room by speaking the loudest. My mother managed discomfort before it became conflict. My older sister stayed aligned with whoever made life easier. And me, I was the clown, not literally, but close enough. The one who made jokes when conversations got too sharp. The one who picked up grocery bills without mentioning it. The one relatives called easygoing because I learned early that reacting honestly only made gatherings harder. Over time, people confuse accommodation with personality. I don't think my parents even noticed when dependence started. First it was helping with the internet bill during a slow month, then covering electricity after my father's hours got cut, then water, then insurance pay, ments tied to the house. Small things individually. Together, they became structure. Nobody acknowledged it directly because acknowledgement would have changed the family hierarchy. And my father protected hierarchy the way some people protect religion. That Easter, dinner started late because my mother was irritated before anyone arrived. The kitchen was too hot. My sister was already drinking wine. My father kept criticizing tiny things while pretending he was joking. I remember carrying plates to the table while everyone talked over each other. At one point, my aunt asked whether I was still working remotely. Before I could answer, my father laughed quietly. He works hard avoiding real life. A few people smiled politely. I did too. That was the rhythm of our family. Small dismissals dropped casually enough that objecting to them made you seem sensitive. Later, while we were eating, my mother started talking about next Easter plans, vacation ideas, who would host. Then she looked directly, TLY at me. Well, she said, you probably won't even be invited if you keep acting like this. The table went strangely still. I honestly don't remember what I'd done wrong. I'd corrected my sister earlier about a payment attached to my account. That was it. Barely a disagreement. But something about being contradicted publicly seemed to embarrass my mother. I tried laughing it off. She didn't. You bring tension everywhere, she said flatly. Every holiday becomes about managing you. That sentence landed harder than yelling would have, because it sounded practiced. My father kept eating for a moment before leaning back in his chair. He was never really a family person anyway, he muttered. Then, quieter. Not a real son, more like entertainment. My sister laughed immediately, reflexively, and suddenly I could see the pattern clearly. Not cruelty exactly, utility. I had become useful enough to depend on but emotionally easy enough to disrespect. Something inside me detached at that moment, calmly, almost professionally. I stood up, walked to the hallway, grabbed my jacket. Nobody followed. Then my mother called after me. So you're just leaving? I turned around and said the first honest thing I'd said in years. Fine, but don't expect my $7,600 this month. Silence. My father frowned first, confused rather than angry. What are you talking about? But I was already opening the door. Outside, the air felt cold and strangely clean. I sat in my car for almost 20 minutes afterward, staring at nothing. Part of me expected guilt immediately. Instead, I felt embarrassed. Embarrassed that I'd spent years paying to remain emotionally included. When I got home, I opened every account connected to the house. Internet, electricity, water, all under my name. I didn't shut them off dramatically. No angry messages. No announcement. I simply removed payment authorization. The systems handled the rest. 3 days later, my WhatsApp looked unreal. 47 mess. Ages. At first they were irritated. Did you forget the payment? Internet's down. Call me. Then came confusion once the electricity company refused to discuss the account with my father because he wasn't the primary holder. That was the moment everything changed. Not emotionally, institutionally. A utility representative apparently told my parents very politely that authorization could only come from me. For the first time, dependency became official paperwork instead of hidden family reality. After that, the messages changed tone fast. My mother, please answer. My sister, this has gone too far. Then later, we didn't know everything was under your name. That message stayed with me longest, because it revealed how completely invisible my role had become to them. My father waited 2 more days before messaging, not apologizing, just, can we talk like adults? I almost ignored it. Instead, I met them at a cafe near my apartment. My mother looked exhausted. My sister wouldn't hold eye. E-contact. My father kept clearing his throat before speaking. Nobody mentioned Easter immediately. Finally, my mother said quietly, "We thought you'd always help no matter what." There it was. The actual foundation underneath our family dynamic. Not love, assumption. I didn't yell at them. I didn't list sacrifices. Honestly, by then I was too tired for revenge. We worked out temporary arrangements, shared payments, account transfers, boundaries, professional language where family language used to be. Months later, things are calmer now, but different. At holidays, nobody mocks me anymore. At the same time, nobody leans on me casually either. And sometimes I still catch my father looking at me with a strange expression I can't fully read. Not anger. Something closer to realizing authority disappeared long before either of us admitted it.